Hello friends, this is Harendra and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will learn integration of Google Map SDK in iOS platform. So using this URL you can go to the documentation section or documentation portal, and you can check the installation guidelines or installations steps over here. So using CocoaPod and Carthage, and manually you can install this. For the Carthage you have to follow these all instructions. So there are the segmented documentation that is available for the different procedures like CocoaPod, Carthage, and manual instructions. You can copy directly this code or this lines for your CocoaPod files. So you can check all things are very clearly mentioned, like how you can integrate the pod files and initialize the pod in your projects, and how you can get API keys from Google side, and a code snipped for your view controller or integration of Google Map. So just go to the two links, like go to the product select page or go to the credential page to retrieve the credentials. And this is the code snipped for the Swift and Objective-C. So we will use Swift only. So we will follow the Swift code snipped only. So using these two lines, you can initialize SDK using API key. So now we are on dashboard. Like I don't have any project yet, so first I have to create a new project. So I'm in India, so I have to select India as my region. So you can check I don't have any projects, so first I need to create a project using this link. Okay, so just give a name here for your project, and you can check Google saying hey, there are some cap or limit to creating the projects. So I can create 12 projects, up to 12 projects, and if I want to more project, then I have to uh, go for the uh, quota incrementation. Okay, so putting my name, I'm putting my app name here. So whatever app name you want, you can create a project here using that name. So I don't have any organization yet, so just create a project without organization. Google allows for that. Okay, so project is created here. So you can check like credentials are not available. So first you have to create a credentials using create credentials tab. Okay, so this one is our create credential tab. So using this button you can create credentials, but you can also delete if you want. Okay, so you can create app key, auth client key. Okay, so in our case we are creating API key only. So this is created, and you can also restrict this key so that outside of app you cannot use. So for the like any fraud or any misuse of this API key, you can restrict using this. So for the like sample, I'm using this keys, and after that I will delete this. So I'm not restricting this. You can also go APIs and services section for the key. Okay, so if you want edit your API key, so you can edit like if you want restrictions uh, for some modules only, like Google services, these are the modules you can check in drop down. So if you want any module restrict for this API key, you can do that. So Google is very flexible for that. Okay, so now we have API key, then we can move to the development part. So first we have to open our Xcode to create a new project. Okay, so I think we most of us are already aware of this process to creating a blank project, so you can skip this process. So like I'm creating a new project, and then I will initialize the CocoaPod inside this. Okay, so I'm giving a product name, or we can say app name. Then this organization identifier, or we can say app identifier as well. Then all things we will keep remain unchanged. Then hit next button and then select directory. So I am saving this project on my desktop. Just create. Okay, now open terminal. Just navigate to project directory so that we can initialize our CocoaPod inside this directory. So in my system, pod is already installed, so I directly initialize this in my app. If pod is not installed in your system or in your MacBook, then you have to install pod first in your system. Then we can initialize in your app itself. Okay, so this is our pod file, and then go to the references section where we can copy pod. So using this you can initialize CocoaPod in your MacBook. So we can skip it, like as of now I have already installed this in my MacBook, and this is the pod files like Google Map and Google Places, and also the version is already specified. Just copy and paste in your pod file. So this is command for install. So actually like system is unable to fetch these versions of pod that is specified in pod file. So what we can do, uh, like this is trying to fetch version 4.1 something that is not available, I think, on pod. So just remove the version specifications, and now hit that command again. So you can check the version 3 point something being installing. So this version is slightly different, that is mentioned on the developer portal of Google SDK. Okay, so this is installed now. So we will use Xcode workspace from now, and Xcode project we will no longer use. Okay, select any simulator or device on which you want to run your application, run and test, and open storyboard. Okay, so let's see what are the next steps. So first, we can create a API key variable. Okay, then get a API key. So that we have already, then we can copy and paste here. Okay, so all you view controller and view controller related code snippet are available here. So just import Google Maps or Google Places a header in your, and we can say module inside your view controller. Can and also create some uh, IV outlet, because we will not use full scan map. We will create a container or a sub view in, and that inside of that we will add our Google Map as a sub view. So for that we have to create a UI view, and then we can also create some labels and button, like button for the share location, and labels to show current location and let long only. Okay, so just drag and drop a UI view. Okay, so on this view we can add a Google Map as a sub view, and for the differentiate we can add some background color. Okay, and then add another footer kind of UI view, so on which we can show some details of current location, and then a button to share the current location, like on WhatsApp. And so like the sharing sheet implementation we will not do in this session, just creating a button, reference button only. Okay, so giving some different background colors so that we can differentiate all sub views inside this view controller. So guys, if you have not subscribed my channel yet, you can subscribe my channel and share my videos so that this can reach to more developers and needies. Okay, so giving some constant and adding auto layout inside our view controller. It's like creation of UI and auto layout. If you are already aware of that, then you can skip this, because elaborating all things, this section is needed, so that is why I'm creating this UI steps. Okay, so now we have three labels, one for the location and another one for latitude and longitude. Okay, so this section is completed. So now we can adding this reference to our view outlet, and then we will move to implementation part in our view controller. So now we can also do it in build load, because we have very less size of code, but the separation is always good. So we will create some functions. So init map function will initialize our Google map. So just copy and paste this code snippet from developer portal to our view controller, and then make some adjustment to fulfill our requirement. So first we will use this default values or sample values, then we will modify this code. Okay, so we have added this map as a subview to our view. Okay, and then we have to copy this and paste into your info plist. Okay, so we have just pasted our values inside our plist, and then check in property. So we have added these two properties, or we can say array, in our info plist, and we can also directly add these values from plist using that plus button, and also we can remove using that remove button. Okay, so info plist part is done, because this is required, otherwise our app will not work or maybe crash. Okay, or sometime it shows warning in debug console. So to avoid that things, we have to add. Okay, now application is crashing. The reason is that we have not initialized our our Google SDK yet. So we can simply do that by putting that key in app delegate. Okay, so just initialize GMS places client and GMS services, and then copy this key and create that variable here inside your app delegate class, or whatever shared class you have, or any class where you are initializing this. Okay, so initialization part of SDK is done. Yeah, and app is building successfully, but still we are not getting data on our map. So the reason behind is that the API key is active and correct, but API is not enabled on the developer portal, or APIs portal. So for that we have to go on the portal. Okay, sorry. So nothing we are seeing here, just a annotation only. So just go to the dashboard, this one, and then the APIs and services, and then the enable API and services tab. We can enable the desired or required APIs and services. So in our case, we need two services only. First, Google Map SDK, iOS only. Okay, this one. So we have to enable this service. Just hit on enable button and this will be enabled. This button only. Okay, so this service is initialized for this key and enabled. Now go for the next service, that is first we can check an overview. So you can check all dashboard here, and then activating next service, Google Place API, because this will be required for the reverse geocoding, where we can fetch the places from using coordinates and latitude and longitudes. Okay, so this service is also initialized on our credentials. Now go to the Xcode and then test it again. Okay, so now we are seeing here dummy data. So this is the dummy data. Then now we have do some more steps to show latitude and longitude and my location, and some functionality on this share my location button. Okay, to saving the time, I have did some code outside of this recorded session, so you can check this code. So I have changed the strategy, and I have made some functions, created some functions like reverse geocode, and initialization is also changed. You can check on the storyboard. So there is no subview inside this. I have directly assigned that class. Okay, like GMS map view. You can do this directly without adding sub view. Okay, and then we have created this IV outlet, that is the type of GMS map view. So simply we have initialized location manager and confirm the delegate and start the updation of location. And in one line we have set map view, we have enabled my location button, and then reverse geocode function. You can check this code. So using coordinates, we can fetch the data of localization, oh sorry, a current location or locality. So from this function, inside from this function, we will call this method and passing the coordinates, and we will take this code from here and put inside here in the geocode, because here we will have location related data like locality name and sublocality and country and state. So all local details related to that place we will have here. So we can make that annotation from this function. Okay, so just do some adjustment and remove some error or make it code to, so that application can build. So because handling the optional chaining here, because some variables are optional here, so for that we have to handle here optional chaining. Okay, so everything is good for now. Let's create some more IV outlets for the share button, then labels for the location, then latitude and longitude. Okay, and then let's connect all IV outlets to UI components. Okay, now we will also require a action for share button. So let's create this. This will be UI button type, then just connect it to button. Oh, mm, so this is the typo error. This should be IB action. So now this should be connect. Okay, then so all data of your local place in the labels. Okay, so let's show data from place object to the label location. So you can check here the coordinates and thoroughfare and locality, sublocality all are available here. Just we are showing data from very deep to outside of that locations, like the inner data and then the outer data, like house name and then the street name and then the district and then country. So in that manner we will follow to lower to higher order. Okay, so thoroughfare to locality. So this will be in the location level or whatever you want, you can format that. This is just for the demo purpose only. And then also show the correct data on the marker or annotation as well. So we will show locality as snipped and title for the thoroughfare. Okay. So in annotation the thoroughfare and the locality will be displayed. Okay, so you can see here the location on the location label and then latitude and longitude are also there and the annotation on the correct places available. Okay, and hit the, and you can check on the description of that annotation, or we can say marker. Okay, so everything looks good. So now only things remain, that is share my location button. So that will we will not go in deep, and just add some model or a class only to storing that local place data. Okay, so actually I'm trying to uh, give some another location to the simulator, but I think that's not supported on the simulator. So because I'm assigning or trying to uh, give some uh, debug kind or mock location, but it's not accepting, or maybe I'm forwarding the correct steps for that. So you can do this, hit like give some try and you will definitely see the different location. So we can leave this for now and then move to the share part. So just create a class or a structure. So in my case, I'm taking a struct. Okay, so take a struct only. So on which we can store like data from the reverse geocoding and some information of the coordinates. So whatever we will require, we will get from this model or this structure. Okay, so just confirming the type of that objects for the local place. So it's, I think, GMS address. Okay, so it's a GMS address type. So here we will store address and this will be location. Location will be, I think, CL location 2D coordinates, I think. Okay, so this is our model. Let's make it capital. Okay, now create a instance variable for this. Initially this will be empty because location will be not available, and also initializer also not created, so that is why we will making it optional and assigning nil in beginning. Okay, and we will initialize this from this method inside the reverse geocode. Okay, so now we have coordinates and local place information inside this model. So whenever we hit the share location button, then whatever we want, like showing the action sheet or showing and or want to navigate to the next screen to show something more realistic, then we can use this model. And like you can see in several applications where we can see open the action sheet and share that information, like location related information, to WhatsApp on Facebook or local SMS. So that thing we can do inside that function. So I'm not covering that, but definitely you can do that if this is a requirement of your application. Okay, so you can, so as this is the optional, so first we need to handle the case for the null exception. So I also prefer if let or guard for this. Okay, so in this we can share this anywhere where you want, and in else part you can handle the error. Like if this model is empty, that means the location information is not available, so you can handle that case inside else, and you want to print that information, that you can also print. So for now I'm printing it. And if you have any doubt or any query, you can post your comment inside the comment section, then I will definitely reply. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe my channel for the more informative videos. And you can check this debug section, all information is here. Like this is the place information. Okay, so this is my local place information, and this is the my longitude and latitude on. Okay, so all that things be required, all are available inside this model. I hope you like this video, and till then you keep watching, keep learning, and thank you. Bye bye.